Welcome back, everybody, to Mystics at the Grocery Store. We are here today asking you a question: how you felt out of sorts? Have you felt a little rocked, maybe a little tired energetically? Have you felt overwhelmed, whether by your personal life or the world news or what have you, of all the list of things that can make us feel out of whack? So we wanted to come today for a little bit more casual of an episode to just check in and see what practices we're actually using day to day that is keeping us feeling balanced, aligned, authentic, keeping us, level and feeling good, as good as possible in our days. So we're just really going to chat through kind of, I'm sure a lot of what we've already talked about in previous episodes is going to come up, but just how we're actually practically using it day to day. But hopefully, you walk away with some tools to use that might help you feel more balanced and more energetically aligned as we move through the year. So, ladies, Melinda, do you want to
Yeah.
start? What have you been using lately that's really helped you day to day?
I mean, cocaine has been great. My marijuana use
Truly
just
medicinal.
skyrocketed. I shrooms and no, I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm just
Uh,
making a
She doesn't do shrooms.
joke.
the other stuff we don't know.
I don't know if what I did once was shrooms or not. It has never been clear. However, everything is everything is experience, right? But lately, first of all, yes, I think that the daylight savings time change has thrown us off a little bit, teeny bit,
Mhm.
in just this little subtle way where you're just like, what do I need an extra cup of coffee all the time? I don't know. So just noticing that and just being aware and just not beating ourselves up just because 1 hour can totally mess us the hell up somehow. Um, just noticing and going, oh, that, yeah, a little tiny change makes a big difference. And then making sure we try to get our sleep and, as best we can. I guess one thing fundamental that is just ongoing for me is trying to have my morning and evening kind of energy check in with myself. And I know, I am a Virgo. I'm disciplined. I enjoy it. So I know that's not true for everybody. Okay. I'm not saying everybody has to do this. This is what
This
works
is
for
so
me.
interesting because it's definitely something that you got from your mother.
That's true. She has a lot of Capricorn, and there is that. And I have an intensity of the Scorpio rising to apply the things that come to me. But the truth is, I have been sleeping better when I do this practice, and that keeps me. I mean, sleep. We've talked about that is so important.
Mhm.
And just like when you're out of sorts and then you're like, why you forget that your crappy night of sleep actually has an effect on your day. And it's just helpful to remember and go, oh, and it's okay. It's going to be all right. Pat yourself on the shoulder. It's going to be okay. You'll get a better sleep tonight. Everything will look better. But I don't know why we have amnesia about it. We forget that
Mhm.
that really has a huge effect. And it's
And I
just
like the way
helpful
you
to
say that.
remember.
Yeah, I like the way you said that with the amnesia. I do recall one point, I don't know what I was studying at that point in time, but they said to make sure you schedule your sleep. And I was like, what? And it was like schedule your sleep, like what time you plan to go to bed and work your way backwards so that you're actually in the bed at that time, away from the screens, away from anything, just preparing your body to rest. So yeah, I love that you said that, that
Well,
amnesia that we
you
have.
have a remarkable
Mhm.
relationship with scheduling sleep. To me, you are a superhero. I
Oh
don't know
my
how you
gosh,
do
I would
it.
not be
And
able.
I think it would be useful to like let everybody know like what it is that you do because you're saving lives and you're staying up all night to do it. So like, how do you manage that?
Um, Gosh. Okay.
Not to put you
Okay.
on the
Well,
spot or
first,
anything.
I am also, in addition to an intuitive astrologer and Reiki master, I'm also a Reiki practitioner. I'm also a veterinary nurse and an ER. And yeah, there's a lot of handling emotions that come in the door. There's handling emotions once you get behind the door where the other employees, there's the emotions of the pets. There's lots of emotion going on. So there's definitely things going around that keep you awake, but you're also in that stress zone. So for me, there was a time that I if there was a time where I would actually Palo Santo in the car, right? Get there 20 minutes early and just Palo Santo, Palo Santo, Palo Santo. Um, so that's one thing that I do. But as far as my sleep goes, I kind of know how much my body can handle to make sure that the filter that goes over my tongue, so I don't say what I want to say when I want to say it the way I want to say it,
Ah,
is healthy. You know
Your
what I'm saying?
filter
Like,
needs sleep.
yes, the filter needs sleep. And as it sleeps, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the meshes get smaller and smaller. And like, yeah, don't say that or say it this way. So the frequency kind of changes a little bit. But and when I look at my week schedule, when I look at it, and I always I'm going to sleep this many hours this day and this many hours that day. And then when I'm switching from overnights to daytime shift, that's when the trouble comes in because I usually get 2 hours right after the shift, and then I get up and I try to do something so that I get back to sleep a decent time. And it's usually like 6:30 p.m. that I'm in the bed for a good 12 to 14 hours
Yeah.
to recover. But is it really recovering? I don't know. With this time change, I'm saying no. But what's interestingly is I've experienced the last two time change being awake. So the first time when you see it and it's 1:59, I don't really know what time. And then it goes back to 1 o'clock all over again. You're like, I just added time. This is awesome. I got another hour to do whatever. But this time I think it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it got to three or it got to 2:59, and then it went ahead to 3:50. I was like, no, I only have one more, I have one less hour to get everything done. So that's what happened this last time. But really with the sleep, I really do listen to my body and I listen to the moon cycles. If it says I'm void of course, she said I don't have to
wait,
do nothing today.
explain that. Explain what is void of course for the moon. I
It,
just think of her kind of going off, like sort of floating, not being super directed. Is that right? What is it?
well, she's kind of floating, but she's not floating forward per se. She's more of a standstill, kind of like, let me get the residual of this kind of energy first before I move on into the next one. So she kind of just, it's more of a reflection, I guess we can call it. But when you think about the orbits and the way the Earth moves, like it's kind of at a standstill and then it's going to start going forward. Wants to experience a little more time and that energy.
Do you feel it in your body?
I feel it in my body, absolutely. And then I run over to the moon calendar. I was like, yeah, I freely,
Mm.
girl, I hear you. I'm gonna get another glass of water and we're gonna sit on the sofa and just relax. But my mind is usually going at that point in times too. And I have so many journals just like sitting beside the spots where I sit, and pens where I could just things start coming through and I just start writing them. But I think for me it's more physically I've got to recover as well as mentally because I hold space for so much during a 12-hour shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really do.
I feel for everyone that works in that type of like shift work where you have to vary your whether your nights or days and all of that, like in the medical field and in veterinary hospital field. Like I can't imagine. Because I know when my body gets like out of sorts, even just with like on the days I go into the office, I wake up like an hour and a half earlier. And even that knocks me off. I'm like, oh my gosh. But
Why
yeah,
do we have to leave the house to
I
work?
know it's terrible. Um, No, I love that we're talking about sleep. I think it's very important, but I won't bore the listener with my similar sleep habits. But I'm just gonna say it's important and maybe track your sleep. Maybe be aware of like the days you feel really good. I don't know. I started wearing one of those fitness trackers for my sleep, and it's given me some very interesting insights about um, what actually is restful sleep. So if you want to get nerdy about it, you can get one of those. I'll say one of the things that I've been doing lately that has been helping keep me in my peace and alignment, which isn't a traditional thing, spiritual that we've talked about. Um, I have been finding things to watch that make me laugh.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's been great. And I'll just stumble across, and now my like Instagram algorithm knows that I'm lingering on the things that are funny. So it's just feeding me like different comedians, and then I go search for them, and I find that they have like comedy specials, and then I go watch their special, and then I'm just happy. Or watching things like The Traders, and that makes me laugh. And yeah, just finding easy entertainment because things are really heavy
Yeah.
externally
Yes.
is
Yes.
just, it reminds you there is lightness and goodness, and not
Hmm.
everything is bad. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the ones I've been using.
No,
Yeah.
I have to agree. I tried to watch Traders, but my husband's like, I don't like it. I can't. No, I was like, it's okay, no big deal.
No.
But one of the ones that I do like, Heartland,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I watch Virgin River, but it's just to go, wow, that's really okay. Like, I know what they're going to say, and oh, that's a bad person. And just the way that the producers, the directors, and the actors have to tap into a certain type of energy to portray that energy outward. I just get so, I'm like, wow, to get in that type of character, wow, that is just, it's amazing. And they're super talented. And that's what I love to like trigger onto things like
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Laughter is super duper duper important. That's why we all are looking at our doggy videos and kitty videos and
Yes.
just like going, oh my God, there is good in the world. And here it is. And
The
let's
amount
celebrate
of
it.
animal videos I share with people is over the top.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
then,
I
yeah, go ahead.
there's like I don't know, there was one night that I was on the overnight and I had worked the overnight and I couldn't. I slept for like 4 hours, 5 hours, and I tried to get back on a regular schedule and I couldn't. So I was like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna listen to a book. And then as I'm trying to listen to the book, it wouldn't click in. And I'm like, so I was like, maybe I turn my phone off to turn it back on. And then Instagram came on, and I was like, what in the actual? And then it was these, I don't know what it was. I sent you guys the video, but it was something, they were hilarious. I People screaming in the cabinet, and then they were
Oh,
falling
the
all
hidden
over themselves.
speaker.
Oh my God. I was crying. The dog came out, checked on me, like, what? So I was like, it must be too loud because I was laughing so hard. But I needed that release of laughter in
Hmm.
order to just relax and go to bed. So that was so funny that you mentioned laughing.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's the prime tool. Get sleep and laugh.
Get
Our
sleep,
episode
laugh,
is done.
drink water.
Water.
That's
There
it.
you go.
There we
That's
go.
it. Honest assessment. Okay, the other thing I has been helping is that I like actually socialized. That
Mm.
was a miracle.
Hmm.
I mean offline socializing, like an in-person socialize. It's not really my way, you know. Um I mean, I used to perform in front of hundreds of people every weekend, but I then would go into the dressing room and turn very quickly into, how Wonder Woman changed back to Linda, or not Linda Carter. That's the actress, whatever her name, Diana Prince. Diana Prince? Yeah. Just like, anyway. Um, yeah, so I like went to somebody's wonderful birthday party. It was a small gathering. It was just perfect because not too many people. Again, that that's I like a small gathering. and like of people who love to pull cards, and like there's a fire, and yeah, it's really nourishing. And
Mhm.
that, and then I like a visit from a family member who I haven't seen in a while, just like nice, remembering old days. Like there's just feels good. So I realized that was really helpful as well for my spirits. It was really nice.
Good connection.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah. I'll say another one that's not like traditional, what we talk about normally. Um, I have been creating things. So like letting creative ideas come about and then actually moving forward with them and like creating a class, creating like things for my website or social media, like just like actual designing things with like fonts and colors and backgrounds and like getting creative in that type of like designy way, which just I feel like uses a different part of my brain that
Mhm.
has been really fun and helpful to like balance me out and not feel so stuck in like numbers all the time or like just sending emails all day long, like actually doing something that's like visually appealing. If I was more crafty, I feel like making things. I did have a stint where I made candles, and that was really fun. Um, but it was also very messy. So the cleanup is not fun. So, but things like that, like using your hands like to create and just letting everything flow that way has been very fun and like a good little break from the norm. But
Your
yeah,
class, you did, I did get to take Rosalind's class today,
yes,
and it is still available on
it
recording.
is. I'll put all the
And
info.
it was so beautiful, and
Thank
it
you.
was very beautifully like designed. So,
Thank you.
if you do, guys, do check out. If you want to know more about even just, yeah, why do the elements matter to you, and how do they play out in your life? They really can help your life when you understand them.
This is
Like,
true.
and then you can see this visual, beautiful display Rosalind put together in addition to
Thank you.
like channeling from Mother Earth. But so what you're finding entertaining to do or inspired to do also, then, when you do the creation, has a ripple effect out. So
This is true.
because then I got inspired, and I've also been picking up on that cardinal fire feeling, and the same thing. I've like got a new
Hmm.
idea of like I've been doing my belly dance snack videos,
Those are so fun.
and I just like let's have fun. Like this is what I
Hmm.
do anyway. Let me just share it with people. I have no agenda other than this is honestly the way I like to play, and
Hmm.
this is how I do it. And maybe some people will get off their butts if they can, and just like do a little shake, with a
Yeah.
follow along with
Do a
me,
little
and then
clapping, moving your
flapping,
arms.
Mhm.
moving arms, and like not feeling it needs to be some big long thing or you need to know a million things. But I love to do it because I love to break things down and just make it really accessible.
Hmm.
And so that has been fun. And I agree about just being creative and sharing, because
Sharing
why
it.
not?
Yeah. Share your fun,
Yep.
inspired things so that other people feel the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Make love, not war.
Totally. Totally.
Hmm.
Adrienne, how about you? Any other little.
Well, the creation
Mhm.
bug has definitely been coming through for me as well. I've been listening to Melinda's advice, just use this. Okay. And I was like, okay.
That was a lot of expletives that you just bleeped, and it is accurate.
And so, with me with the astro tarot oracle, doing the readings to kind of ease and support the transitions. That has been a lot of fun. But there were like 3 days where I didn't do anything, 4 days, and I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I could hear Melinda in the background. Girl, it's supposed to be fun. It's
Yep.
supposed to be headache.
Don't
It's
lose the fun.
like, yay. And even, when I'm auditing everything and editing and auditing and going, I don't want to do that one, or that one's going to be too long, that kind of a thing. It's more like, okay, what are somebody going to get from this if I share this? And did I have an experience with it? So there's a couple of videos that I put on the YouTube channel that I had experiences with. And I was like, am I spending this money and coming up with girl math to spend this money? Do I really need to, that kind of a thing? And then how the eclipse affected me as well. It was just so sticky. But I was just like, I think a lot of times we don't realize we have the tools right here. And it's just really just acknowledging, opening, there's the tool, and looking at it that way instead of like, I'm always searching to reach for it. So, with the things that I've created, one of them is brick by brick, and that's the life chapters. Every 3 months, we're going to go over the past 3 months, and then we're going to seal it in. Okay, here you are. There was a vision that came to me like, okay, we're going to have a lighted candle. And then you're going to make this agreement with yourself. You're going to close it up in an envelope or some melted wax. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then we'll seal it with our thumbprint. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if somebody gets their thumbprint? Are they going to be able to take over? But I was just like, okay, first I'm worried about health and safety, and then I'm worried about somebody's identity. And it was like, I'm like, this is my brain, I'm telling you. And it just kept going on and on and on. And then there's one with the lunars, and then the nodes are coming in very loud for me to talk about as well, because if I'm researching it, I'm going to share what I've researched,
Yeah.
But the nodes are so super, and I'm just like so amazed and just
so
in love with it. So yeah, there's quite a few coming up for me as well.
So much creation. But there was something that you said that made me think. You were saying like something being external, but you have all the tools within. I think taking that away from I guess that's kind of the whole point of this conversation is like making sure that you're trying to be consciously aware of what makes you feel good so that you can use that when you don't, so that you can get back to your balanced, like happier state. And just paying attention to how that feels. It's very, very important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There was one time, and I know this is like off the riff here, but I said, you know what? Childlike wonder. Let me see. I'm in the dollar store, and I'm like, I'm not jumping ropes. I'm not going to. It's not gonna. But then I saw the bubbles. I'm like, I've always loved bubbles. But of course, me with that fragrance allergy that I had to find one without a fragrance in it. So I'm going through, and at this point, I'm invested, and I'm doing it, and I'm finding it. And when I got home, I started to blow the bubbles. The dog had so much fun. Then it was like trying to blow the bubble as big as I could. So it was just like a release there, just doing something that was fun. So like that was just a simple thing that I remember from childhood, which I had so much fun with. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy. Who says I can't buy bubbles?
That is such a great idea. That is
so easy.
So fun.
Easy.
Yeah, little joys are so important.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something else, Melinda?
No, I just saw us all going. I just was like, everybody should just have bubbles in their purse so that we just go out and
in a stressful
moment.
I
just put some bubbles
in a bad meeting. Hold on.
Most people do sort of find the lightness. You just sort of watch it and you're just like,
it's whimsical.
How could you be mad at somebody? Like seriously.
Well, that would be funny if people it was like, wait a minute, before we have this fight, let me just how you like them bubbles?
It would be great.
Then this battle ensues with bubbles. No, I mean truly like good sleep, laughter, blowing bubbles, and I think that aspect of the fire we talked about that has really been us, and we encourage everybody to, we have an idea, try it and share it.
Yep.
and express yourself. And you don't have to know why. And you don't have to justify it. You can just do it because why not? You
Yep.
know, people put out all this other kind of stuff that has so many layers of agenda behind it and so much negativity and fear attached to it. But the real spark of creation with that you have to paint that picture or do that drawing or go call that person and whatever it is, that is just pure life force positive energy that's just going to help carry you along.
Yeah.
Unless you just need to take a nice nap and then do that.
Yeah, because nobody
Yes.
wants cranky either. If you're sleep cranky, go
Not
to bed.
cranky. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
bed.
If you're listening right now and you're
to
tired,
bed.
go to bed.
We love you.
Well, okay,
Send
take
you
care of the
sweet
children,
dreams.
whatever you're supposed to do
Okay.
first.
Yes.
Go to bed.
Children, make sure they're safe.
No, I think you put that perfectly, Melinda. And I feel like that's a beautiful way to wrap all of this. It's like
Yeah.
there is so much noise out there right now that it can get very overwhelming and very uncomfortable. But if you truly and honestly follow the things that make you feel good and share the things that make you feel good, you're just adding more positivity and like you're diluting out the things that we really don't want to see and that we don't want to be kind of like carried down into. And you're just adding to the, high vibes and good frequencies and just sharing your joy and helping others kind of find the light too is just so, so important. So I think that was like a wonderful way, Melinda, to wrap it all up.
Wrap
But,
it up.
but yeah,
Put a bow
Yeah.
and blow the bubbles.
blow the
Like
bubbles.
everybody, just to recognize that we're all in the same boat together. We're all feeling these energies. And if you're going to feel these energies and you see somebody that's feeling the same energies and they're still in their best and they're still seeing and embodying joy, and then you look the other way and we see somebody experiencing it and just it doesn't feel in alignment to you, then don't be in the courage to walk in the direction that it does feel in alignment to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Beautifully
Yeah.
put.
Wonderful. Well, listener, we love you. We're thinking
Listeners,
of you. Yeah, listeners. We just hope that you're having the best day or night wherever you are. And we're just sending you so much love and yeah,
Blowing bubbles.
blowing bubbles
Blowing
your
bubbles.
way. And we will see you very soon. Bye,
you soon.
everybody.